4 time. 21 pull-ups, 42 double unders, 21 thrusters. Then 18 chest to bar pull-ups, 36 double unders, 18 thrusters. Then 15 bar muscle ups, 30 double unders, 15 thrusters. The thrusters increase in weight every round. There is a 12-minute time cap. Good. Wow!
So what we have here is a series of ascending steps of things you may be able to do or not to do. So we're all going to continue through this thing till we run out of stuff we can do. Time is currently 6:45 a.m. I've just sort of watched the first wave go through. We'll skim through this and see if there's any nuggets that we can pick up. Then we're going to hit the standards. Yeah, so the boss is talking about taking the first set of pull-ups kind of easy, and I would definitely agree. It almost doesn't matter what the top-level people say, because whatever they think doesn't apply to us. God, is it just early, or am I always this negative? I think it would be so cool if your team, for one of the workouts, you had to be in the same place and do the workout together. To the important stuff, to the paperwork. All right, so there's, that as written. Now, I've got all the thruster weights, because it's all pounds and stuff, and I've got it all in my little text document here. 43, 52, 61, 29, 34, 38 for the girls. Now, if you're in the scale division, which I think this will probably be our biggest week of scale division, just because it starts on those bloody pull-ups. But anyway, so obviously, yeah, for your scale division, it's the 29, 38, 47, 20, 25, 29. Now, even the modifiers here, this is going to make it a very different workout. So while there is a 12-minute time cap, depending on where you're going to get to on the tree of eventual failure, depends how you should approach this workout. Because if you're doing a scaled version, you start with, let me just zoom that in there. You start with jumping chin over bar pull-ups. So let's say you're doing the scaled version. You do jumping chin over bar pull-ups, 21 reps. Then you do single skips, and I think it's going to be the same. Yeah, it's the same reps. So then you do 42 single skips. Then you're on your thrusters for 20 or 29 kilos. And then your next movement is chin over the bar pull-ups. So pull-ups are still in there. So if you know black and blue, you are not going to get a single pull-up in this workout. That's fine, but you need to approach the workout with that in mind, because if we fast forward again, all the way down to the scorecard, there is something very important here. This little box over here, time. So if you're doing the scaled version, those are your jumping pull-ups, but these are regular pull-ups. So what this means is that for your scoring, for your ranking, your actual score will be the time that you finish your first round of 21 thrusters. So it will be a mad ass sprint. So if you know black and blue, I don't know why black and blue, but if you know that you are absolutely not getting a pull-up, you need to sprint your ass through these first 3 movements. Like, putting down the thrusters is not an option. That has to be unbroken. That has to be unbroken. That has to be unbroken as fast as humanly possible. All right, I feel like I've made my point on that. If you're not doing a pull-up, you are sprinting for a couple of minutes. Oh, okay, there it is. 8 feet, sorry. So that's the 8 feet, so your barbell just has to start 8 feet from your pull-up bar. That's a pretty good safety thing. I'm sure we've all seen the video of the guy doing toes to bar, and his barbell is right there, and he comes off and domes himself on the pull-up bar. I wonder if that guy's okay. Workout begins facing the pull-up bar, standing behind the 8-foot line. Yeah, so this... I'm sure you noticed that they weren't changing their own barbells. So when we look at those super irritating kilos we have to make up, we can probably use a couple of people floating between the lanes doing the plate changes, because if you're judging, you are not changing plates. If you're working out, you are not changing plates. So each workout, each instance of the workout is going to require 3 people. So receiving assistance other than adjusting loading is not permitted. So I guess what they're saying there is, if you've finished and your bar's rolled way over there, I can go and change your plates, but I can't roll the bar back for you. So as usual, it's as many reps as you can get, or it's your finished time. Now, the tie break. I think we've already covered the tie break, but after you finish each round of thrusters, your time must be noted. So if you're judging, you have two things that I think are going to be, well, three things. Three things that are going to be your most important tasks. Making sure chins are over bars for gymnastics movements, making sure you are counting the skipping correctly, and making sure you are recording the tie break times. All right, on the equipment list here, everything looks pretty normal. Must have collars on. Oh, yeah, cool. So the only marking we have to do this week is 8 feet from the pull-up bar. So that's cool. So that'll be just one big line running down the gym. Yeah, so this is, I think I mentioned last week about the uncommon movements clause. That's, I guess, what they're referring to there, saying you just can't do weird stuff, right? You just can't do weird things. All right, the floor plan, pretty much as we have guessed. Yeah, now it shows here. So when I first looked at this image, I thought it meant the athlete had to start behind the barbell, but no. So the barbell can be sort of here, and the athlete can be here, or you can stand in this little gap here. You just have to start behind that line, and your barbell has to remain behind that line. So if you're doing a set and the barbell comes down, it rolls to like this section, that's going to be the athlete's responsibility to roll the barbell back behind the magical line. Now, movement standards. Let's see if we've got anything a bit weird. Yeah, there you go. First dot point must remain on the side of the line. Oh, okay. So if your foot's even touching the line, it's going to be a no rep. Each set of thrusters begins with the barbell on the ground. Yeah. I guess they're getting away from anyone maybe racking it or putting it on blocks or just doing anything sort of weird. Now, this is a one to note. This is sort of what you would call like a squat basic, but it helps to have it spelled out for us. The crease of the athlete's hip must clearly, and that has always been the operative word, married up with below. Clearly below. Clearly below. So if you're judging and it's a bit so-so, that's a no rep. It's tough, but I think it's a great standard. Because if someone is close and they do spend 5 minutes getting no reps, when they come back to that thing next year, hopefully, not such an issue for them. I have a total rant about no reps that I'm going to motivate everyone with tomorrow morning. So I'm looking forward to sharing my no rep thoughts with. Full squat clean if the first thruster is allowed. Make that a point. Make that a point. If you are physically capable of squat cleaning that weight, make sure you do that every time. It just gives you this little 2-3% bounce out of that first squat that I've always felt gives me just a little positive feedback from doing something as brutal as a thruster. So if you're physically capable of squat cleaning that weight, make sure you squat clean the bar every single time you pick it up. The rep is credited when the athlete's hips, knees, arms fully extended and bar is directly or slightly behind the middle of their body, directly over or slightly behind. The rep must be completed in one fluid motion from the bottom of the squat. Oh yeah, front squat. So, if you come up from the squat and then you're like, and you push press or whatever, that's a no bueno. All right, chin over bar pull-up must start fully extended. Any style of pull-up or grip is permitted as long as the requirements are met. I wonder if you can do mixed grip, because mixed grip's usually very helpful. Rep is credited when the athlete's chin breaks the horizontal plane of the bar. Chin. All right, so let's arch those bad boys right up. Wrapping tape around the pull-up bar or wearing hand protection is permitted, but taping the bar and wearing hand protection is not permitted. Yeah, that's been a standard rule for a couple of years now. Chest to bar requirements are met. Oh, is that what the other one said? As long as the requirements are met, as long as the other requirements are met. I wonder if that's a typo. It seems like that should say the same thing on both. Rep is credited when the athlete's chest, and again, it's this word, clearly comes into contact with the bar at or below the collarbone. So close is no rep. Close, well, we've always known close is no rep, but close is no rep. All right, the bar muscle up. Obviously, this is not as many dot points as I would like to see about God's bar muscle up. Kipping the bar muscle up is acceptable. Oh, well, that's bloody polite. But pullovers, rolls to support, glide kips are not permitted. No portion of the foot may rise above the lowest part of the bar during the kip. The athlete must pass through some portion of a dip. All right, so those are actually 3 dot points. So this dot point and this dot point and this dot point are all trying to prevent the exact same thing. They're trying to prevent when someone does more of a glide kip. So a glide kip, your feet go above the bar. A glide kip, you generally don't pass through a dip. If you're doing a traditional muscle up, yeah, I'm not sure why that's the one's always sort of puzzled me a little bit. Because you see like your Alex Smiths and like this guy in the announcement, this Toller fella, they can pretty much just get up there, just bam. Like their feet don't rise above. They're just getting there through hip and pull, which are the ingredients that should be used for a bar muscle up. So Anyway, that's their rules. Support position above the bar. Athletes' shoulders are over or slightly in front of the bar. Oh, that's a good one. Because oftentimes you'll see people who are trying to go fast, they sort of lock out behind the bar. Removing the hands in the support position is not allowed. Yeah, that makes sense. At lockout, only the arms may support the athlete's weight. Oh, okay, so there was a thing where people would lean very far forward and sort of rest on their stomach. Cool, don't do that. A jumping chin over bar. Any style of grip, all the standard pull-up stuff we've been reading for an hour. Alright, skipping, any weird stuff. And we've already touched on the scorecard. The big one here is going to be getting those times over on the side. So every time they finish the 21 or the 18 or the 15 thrusters, get that time. Alright, I'm going to go do this workout. And then I'll come back. And then I'll compare my 7-minute time to whatever these losers did it in. Alright, here's my attempt. Kicked off about 8:30 this morning. I was feeling pretty good. I warmed up for about half an hour. I did a lot of the things that we're going to put to you guys to do tomorrow morning. But if you know that you have tight hips or you have a funky shoulder or something, get on in early and make sure you give that some time, because the speed that we move through some of these movements, and obviously if you see the amount of times that I'm resting, I'm not talking about speed constantly, but just the speed of like dropping down from a pull-up or dropping down from a thruster or, dropping into the bottom of a squat, all those sorts of things. You want to be nice and warm in all your joints and muscles. And the takeaways I got from this workout are two big ones really. The first one, James articulated pretty well after he saw myself and Larry go through the workout, which was this seems like the first actual open workout, in that it like you look at it on the page and you think, okay, yeah, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. And you're 3 minutes in and this thing has just punched you in the guts and sweep kicked your legs out from under you. And that kind of leads into my second big takeaway from this workout is you need to go in expecting your plans to get ruined. So if you think you're holding on for 5s or 2s or 10s or whatever you think you're doing, that's awesome. It's awesome to have those plans and to go out and try and achieve those plans. But you have to be realistic that if you get to a certain point and you think, no, if I hold on, I'm going to tear a hand, I'm going to trash my legs, whatever the situation is, you've got to be prepared to pivot during the workout, maybe even by listening to the people around you. But yeah, so this workout is definitely a lot more confronting than it may read. And it would be a great idea if you go into it with an open mind as far as deviating from whatever plan you have ready to rock and roll. Thanks for watching to the end of the video. Doors tomorrow morning open at 7, and I'll see you all there.